All right, let's dive into grammar. It's going to be page 73. 73. Must be cold in that room where you're at. You got your jacket on, huh?
No, I just had the jacket because it was raining outside, and
Oh, yeah.
I didn't take it off.
That's a nice jacket, though. I like it. Okay. 73. We're talking about the last opener, which is a number 6 opener, and it's called a VSS. Do you remember these from last year?
No.
We talked about it. Okay, we didn't do this one. The VSS stands for very short sentence. That's what VSS stands for. So remember when we're changing up our style in our writing, and one way to do that is to change how we start sentences, to vary it up a little bit to make it more interesting to read, and it sounds more sophisticated that way. Well, it's not just the beginning of the sentence, it's the whole sentence. It's the whole sentence that's short. So these sentences have 2 to 5 words. That's it. So these are called VSS, and you're going to label these with a number 6. Okay. It must be a main clause because it must be a complete sentence. It can't be part of a sentence. It has to be a complete sentence. So look at this example here. It says, Robin sought adventure. Even though it's super short, it's only 3 words. You have your subject, Robin, and sought is the verb, and then the noun after that. So it is a complete sentence. This is considered a VSS. So here's another one. The wet log wobbled. That is also a number 6. They put a 6 with a circle around it because we have log is the subject and then wobbled is the verb, and it's a complete thought. It's a main clause. See how they put the brackets there? So that's it. That's probably the easiest one out of all of them is the number 6. It's just a very short sentence. But even though both of these examples start with subject, it's like it could be a subject opener, but it's not because of how many words there are. So now you got to start checking for that. Okay. If it's anywhere between 2 and 5, it's considered a VSS. The other thing we're going to talk about today is the run-on sentence. And we talked about a fused sentence a couple weeks ago. That's when I reminded you guys when you were little and you wrote sentences that said, and then, and then, and then, and then, and then, and it was like a giant page, one giant sentence. That's called a fused sentence. So, this one today, we're talking about one that's called a comma splice. It basically means when you have 2 main clauses placed in one sentence with only a comma between them. This is a second type of run-on error. The easiest way to fix both errors, both the fused sentence and the comma splice, is to place a period at the end of each main clause. That's all you got to do. So if it has a comma and it's 2 main clauses, all you have to do is take out that comma and put in a period. And here's your example down here. Robin noticed a log across a stream. The log looked sturdy. So originally they just had a comma there, and it needs to have a period. Anytime you have 2 clauses back to back like that, you need to have a period between. Okay. And then we talked a little bit about this, I think, before. Imposter, ly adverbs. You remember talking about imposters, Christian?
No.
Okay. Well, it's probably been a while, so I'll refresh your memory. You know what the word imposter means?
Yeah, like fake.
Yeah. I always think of, have you ever been to Las Vegas or Hollywood? And it seems like there's always somebody dressed up like Jack Sparrow there at
Yeah.
Hollywood
No, I haven't been there. But like kind of like costumes.
yeah, kind of like costumes, but they act like Jack Sparrow. Like, you know how he walks funny and he makes funny movements and he talks kind of funny, but he has the same outfit on and makeup on. Like he looks like he could really be Johnny Depp, who's the actor that plays Jack Sparrow, but it's not. So that's an imposter, somebody who's trying to be somebody else. But for writing, sometimes words look like they could be another word. Like ly, you might think, oh, that's an adverb. But sometimes ly words are not adverbs, they're actually adjectives, like the word chilly. Not chili that you eat, but if it's chilly in the room, if it's cold, that has an ly, like in this sentence here, it's chilly stream. That's telling that the stream is cold, so it's an adjective telling about the stream, which is a noun. So they just want you to watch out for that. Other words are like ugly has ly, but that's an adjective describing something, or wrinkly or kingly or ghostly. Those types of ly words are not adverbs. They're actually adjectives. Look at the sentence down here. It says, the sturdy log safely spanned the ugly, whoa, the chilly stream, is what it says. So notice sturdy is telling about the log. That's an adjective. It's telling about the log, which is a noun. And then safely spanned. I know that word spanned is a verb. It has an ed. And it's telling what the log is doing. It's spanning, it's stretching across, right? So that is an adverb because it's giving more information about how it spanned across. And then the chilly stream is telling about the stream, which is a noun. Anytime you have a word that describes a noun, it's going to be an adjective. Any questions about that, Christian?
No.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's go to the practice page. When you're ready, go ahead and read that.
Robin Hood roamed through the forest. He searched for adventure.
Yes, very good. So that word roamed is our vocabulary word. It just means like walking or traveling around without any fixed purpose or direction. It's kind of like wandering. Roamed. That's what that means. Okay, so check by that. There's one article. Go ahead and find that by yourself. And then we got 3 nouns. Go ahead and find those.
Robin Hood.
Yep.
Adventure.
Yep.
Forest.
Good. That's it. One pronoun.
He.
Good. All right, here's where you can decide. What do you want to do next? Do you like looking for the prepositional phrases next?
I'll do the phrases.
Okay.
Through the forest.
Yes.
For adventure.
Yes, you nailed it. Good job.
Main
What's next?
clauses.
Main clause, okay.
He searched for adventure.
Yep, that's right. That's one.
And Robin Hood roamed through the forest.
Yes, excellent. Very good. Now what?
Subject verbs are Robin Hood.
Robin Hood's the subject.
Verb is roamed.
Good.
And he.
Good. He's the
And
subject.
searched.
And searched. Easy. This is an easy one, huh?
2 openers. Subject opener.
Yep. Number 1. Wait. Yep, it is a number 1. Had to count the words just in case.
And then the second one is he. That's 6.
Yeah, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 words. You're right. That's a 6, which is a very short sentence. VSS. Good. Even though it starts with he, it starts with the subject, but
Capitals. Robin Hood and he.
good.
The comma, take out the one after forest.
Yes.
And then the end marks are at the end, and then at the end of forest.
Wow. Yes, you got it. That was easy. That was perfect. Very good, Christian. I'm impressed. Okay, well, that's it for that page. So let's move on. Put away your grammar. That had to be some kind of record right there. Now get out your binder. I know that you worked on the Captain Cook paragraph. Go ahead and get your stuff out for Captain Cook. Let's see. I think you turned yours in, right? I think I looked at it. Let me double check. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? I didn't grade it yet, but I see it in here. Okay. How about we look at it together? I'm going to pull it up here so you can read it to me. And then we'll look at it together here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make it a little bit. Oh, I guess, can you read it like that? Or, oh, here's how you zoom in. There we go. Okay.
James Cook was born in 1728 and was the son of a Scottish farmer. His father was able to pay for Cook's school until the age of 12. Soon after, he was apprenticed to a shoekeeper when he was 18 and when he was 18, he began working on the North Sea trading ships because he needed money.
Good.
At the age of 21, he was surprisingly an able seaman. In 1752, Captain Cook was promoted to mate, which is a fairly high rank. Did I not underline fairly? Wait, was I not supposed to underline
Oh,
fairly?
yeah, you don't have to because you underlined surprisingly.
So then why did I put that in there?
Well, it's good to have more than one. That's good. You don't have to underline it, but it's good to have it in there.
And I don't think I
Okay.
highlighted Captain.
Yes, or oh, I see. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so I think you said shoekeeper right here by accident, but
Oh,
it's
no, that's
shopkeeper.
shopkeeper. It just
Yeah.
looks like shoekeeper.
But you could underline or highlight captain. That's a good idea as your topic clincher. That would work. So later you can fix that because you're going to turn it back in with the other two paragraphs this week anyway. So, and I liked how you picked apprenticed as the strong verb, and then your because clause is good. You didn't use the word of next to that. I think you're missing a who clause, though. I don't see who or which. Did you put that in there?
Maybe. Let me read this again.
Oh, yes, you did right here.
I just didn't underline it.
Yeah, you just need to underline that.
I can do that now because I have Google Docs.
Oh, okay. So this came through as a Word doc. For some reason, you attached it as a Word doc. So I can't edit on a Word. Does that make sense? I don't know why it came through like that, but do you have your version in front of you on your computer?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so maybe try to save it as a Google Doc. Here, I'll return it to you so you can fix that. Should be able to save it as a Google Doc because that way then I can comment on it and stuff. But for whatever reason, it came through as a Word doc on this one.
It's on this computer, that's fine.
But you have it, so I'm still going to give you 10 points because it's really good. I like your paragraph. You got all the stuff in there. You're welcome.
I fixed it, so.
Oh, cool. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. So today we're going to move on to the next two paragraphs. So go ahead and get out your keyword outline that we were working on. And you're going to need the original story so we can look at that. Okay, so for your keyword outline, you're done with Roman numeral 1. You wrote about his early life and a couple of his skills, which ended up being really, I like how you put it together. It flows nicely. So turn over to the back here. We're going to look at possible topics. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics left, and you only need 2 more. For me, it kind of helps to look at maybe here his death. That would be a good way to end the paper, right? When he died. And I'm wondering if we could combine death and fame together, like what made him famous. Because I think it at the end of the article, it talked about, I think, some historical things like buildings and schools that they named after him. That kind of is how he became like one reason we know he's famous. So what if we go like this, Christian, and do a little bracket down here with death and fame, and we put Roman numeral 3. That'll be what we focus on for the third paragraph. It makes sense to end with that. And then you can choose how to do the voyages. So you can just focus on one of the voyages. Looking back on the article, the second, I mean, the first and second voyages were interesting, but he really it just talked about where he went, and he was just basically making maps. But the third voyage, do you remember what happened during his third voyage?
No, let me see.
Gonna be on, page is it on?
It's 85.
Okay.
Yeah, Sandwich Islands.
Yeah. Yeah, he went to the Sandwich Islands and he came up on the island of Hawaii and he noticed the natives were worshiping the Polynesian god Lono. Part. And then flip it over to page 86. This is interesting because remember they thought somehow his ship looked like it resembled Lono, which is their god. So they treated him, initially they treated Captain Cook with reverence, meaning they thought maybe he was the god or he was close to the god or something. And we're not talking about the one true God that you and I know. We're talking about a little g God that's made up, right? In Hawaii, the natives believed in a different God than we do. Does that make sense, Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. So the stuff that they're thinking is kind of like wild thinking, right? They're like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's probably one of the gods or he's Lono himself. And so they kind of worshiped him. They thought he was special because of that. So in my opinion, this voyage kind of stood out because the other two voyages were cool and he saw a lot of land and he got to make the maps and stuff. But this particular voyage was kind of interesting because the natives got involved with it. And then it leads into the natives ended up killing him. In that next paragraph on page 86. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you just mention in your second paragraph how he went on 2 voyages, but then we focus on the third voyage because there's more interesting things about his third voyage. Do you like that idea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Kind of what I'm thinking. I just want to walk that through with you because that's how I choose what my topics are going to be because we really want it to be interesting. So I'm going to just do a little dash right here next to third voyage, and this is going to be Roman numeral 2. So we already did 1, and then number 2 is going to be about his third voyage, and then number 3 is going to be about his death and fame after that. Okay. Now that we figured that out, you can start working on the actual outline here to get it ready for your paragraphs. All right. And like you said, the third voyage starts on the bottom paragraph on page 85. So let's go ahead and just look at that for a minute. You can kind of read it inside your head and then let me know when you see something that kind of stands out about it that you want to include. Oh, before you do that, sorry, hold on a second. Let's put over here in the margin, this is the third voyage. We're just going to put a note here so we know what our topic is here. We're going to focus on that for Roman numeral 2. So how can we introduce that topic here next to Roman numeral 2? Got to introduce it in the first sentence about what's going on here?
Well, since we're skipping straight to the third voyage, we could put in 1776, Captain Cook began his third voyage.
Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. You're right, because we don't even really need to talk much about the first and second voyage. So I like that. Let's start with the date, 1776. Um, I like that. Captain Cook, maybe third voyage. Okay, so this is where, good job. I like how you introduced that. This is where you can look at the two paragraphs. There's that one on 85, and then there's a little bit more on the back on 86 about the third voyage. And then just start telling me some key words that you want to put here about some facts that you find there.
You could put goal, voyage,
Before you write it, let's talk about it though. I like goal. I'm not sure about voyage because we just said voyage.
yeah, I guess so. So goal, that'll work.
What is his goal?
Determine, and then a compass with, or no, like N and W,
Oh, okay.
northwest, and then passage.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, goal. Determine. NW passage. I wonder, could we do an abbreviation? Because the rest of that sentence talks about between the Atlantic and the Pacific. Could we do like,
Okay, so then passage, I guess that can be, I guess, two rocks and then an arrow pointing in between.
yeah, maybe. And then, well, do we need passage though? Oh, we might need passage. Let's see. Let's think for a second. What is the passage between?
Atlantic and the Pacific.
Yeah, those are two oceans. What if we just do abbreviate those two, put an arrow between those? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
You think you can remember what that means if you put like ATL and then an arrow and then PAC?
I think so.
Okay, if you forget though, remember you can always look back. You can underline that in your article there. And if you need to go back to look at that and go, oh yeah, passage, I need to use that word too. That's okay. But I like that. That was his goal. He wanted to see if there was a passage because he was a merchant captain. So that means he brought supplies with him and things to sell or trade. And he was looking for a trade route, basically. Like, how can we trade across the ocean here? Okay, what else would be good to add to this?
Hmm. He went around Africa and passed by New Zealand and then discovered Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Around Africa. Guess we could abbreviate that.
Kind of like, maybe we can write Africa and then an arrow going around it.
Oh, like circling around it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good idea. Africa,
Past
and
New Zealand.
I guess we could just put NZ.
I'll probably remember that.
Okay. Yeah, because not very many places start with a Z, so I think you'll remember that. And then I think discovering Hawaii is probably the most important part of that, huh?
And discovered Hawaii.
Yeah. Discovered, oops, ED, and then Hawaii. And it's interesting about the Sandwich Islands, but I don't know if we need to include that.
Because the Earl of Sandwich.
Do you think we need that? I mean, you can if you like that part, if you think that's important.
I don't think it's needed.
Okay, I agree with that because I think the interesting part is coming up about the natives. That part is going to be pretty interesting. We could probably put a lot about that.
Let's see. His arrival during I can't put natives and then Lono.
I mean, we could use 2 lines if we needed to for that. They were basically, you want to figure out how to put in there that the natives were worshiping the Polynesian god Lono, but that's a lot because even Polynesian god and Lono, that's 3 words right there.
Why
So,
don't you just put Lono?
okay. Start with Lono.
Or end with Lono.
Okay, so what are the other 2 words again?
Arrival, natives, Lono. That sounds good.
What about natives worshiping Lono?
That also works. I'll try.
That works too because yeah, I think worshiping is important because that's what they were doing when he got there. Okay. You like that? Natives. Okay. Worshiping. Oh no. Okay. On the back, let's see what happened next. Yeah, this is interesting stuff.
Shape, ship, and then shape, and then we can draw a ship. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think we need that word resembled.
Ship resembled Lono.
Yeah. So shape and then draw ship and then resembled and Lono. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That next sentence is pretty good.
next sentence is natives treated God?
Or reverence is a good one. Natives. And they treated Captain Cook. Maybe we could abbreviate Captain Cook CC. Like treated CC. It's a tricky one. Well, we need natives. I think you're right about that. Natives treated CC reverence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Natives treated.
Do we need the 6?
I don't know. What do you think? Because it looks like he kept going, and then later he comes back to Hawaii, but I guess you could say he just continued along the coast of North America. I don't know if you need to mention California, Bering Strait, Alaska, all that. But I do think you kind of need to wrap up that paragraph.
I could put continued coast America.
Okay. Maybe in America, because it's not South America, it's gonna be North America. Okay, cool. Continued. I like that. Coast in America. Good, Christian. I like your thinking. That wraps up that paragraph.
And then the last one says death, right?
Death. I think we talked about maybe talking a little bit about his fame at the end. But yeah, let's talk about that next. So he returns. I think it's important to mention that he comes back to Hawaii because that's where the crazy natives are. That's when things go really bad for him.
Why would he even want to return?
I have no idea. It doesn't even tell us, huh? It just says that he returned and then he.
Probably likes being worshipped.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that, but yeah. That's actually good thinking, Christian. I bet you're right. He's like, it's kind of nice. They're bowing down to me like I'm some kind of god. Such human nature to want that. That's funny. Anyway, okay, so should we start with, this one is going to be, let's make a note in the margin just so we can keep track of what we're writing about. Let's just put death and fame here. That's the topic for this side. So,
Returned Hawaii. Maybe Captain Cook returned Hawaii.
okay, and the year maybe?
Wrong page. When did he return? I don't think it says the year.
Yeah, and that,
No, it's up here. 1779.
there you go. I put Captain C.
The next sentence. Natives stole boat, but then that wouldn't include how he planned to take the chief hostage until the property was returned.
Yeah, I don't know if we need that part because that didn't really happen. He planned it. But so I don't know if we need to use that because we want to go right into the,
Natives stole boat.
all right, let's do that.
Let's see, what's the next sentence?
Yeah. Maybe moving on to that confrontation with a crowd and then the chaos and shots were fired and Hawaiians attacked with knives, spears, stones. It doesn't really say what, oh, maybe the confrontation came because of the stolen boat. What do you think about that part? It's kind of a big sentence, but how can we narrow that down? You know which one I'm talking about?
The long one.
Yeah, it starts with however.
However, there was a confrontation with
Yeah.
a crowd of natives and the chaos. Some shots were fired.
Yeah, how can we break it down? We might have to use 2 lines to explain this
Well,
part.
we're not going to need to include some shots were fired.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic though that he didn't get shot. He got stabbed. But I think because of the shots being fired, it created that chaos. Like, I think everybody just panicked and started killing each other, it sounds like. So maybe mention the confrontation part next.
Confrontation, crowd, natives.
Native, we just said natives, maybe chaos.
Yeah, that might work.
Confrontation, crowd, chaos. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the shots that were fired, that's probably important because then it really went crazy after that. I guess we could draw some stuff here. Maybe shots fired. We could abbreviate Hawaiians attacked and then draw knives and spears and stones.
That could work.
That'll work. Okay. So shots fired. Start with that. And then I think, do you remember how to abbreviate Hawaii? I think it's HI. You know how California is CA?
Yeah.
Let me ask Siri. How do you abbreviate Hawaii? HI. Okay, cool. HI, and then attacked. And then we'll draw those. A knife, a spear, and a rock. Or stones, I guess. Knife. And a spear. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, this is the part we talk about how he died. So go ahead and figure that out. That's the next sentence there.
Cook, turn, and then launch, and then draw a boat.
Okay.
Mm. Hmm. How about cook, turned,
We could do CC. We could do CC turned.
that'll work.
I don't know. Do we need to talk about how he was launching a boat? Does that matter?
It
The main part.
doesn't matter. We just need to put he turned.
Okay, I like that. So let's put CC turned and then
Hit, rock,
oh, we could draw a head. You could put hit head and draw, draw a head.
rock, then stabbed.
Yeah. And we could do a dead face, with the X's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, the next part is, how this is the kind of the gross part, but it is kind of interesting and it's part of his story, how they actually cut the flesh from his body and roasted it. Ew. We do need to save one line for the fame part, which we can do in one line. I think we could use 6 for that.
This sentence could be, let's see, roasted body, preserving, and then a bone. Like draw a picture of a bone.
Yeah. Okay. Roasted body. And then the word preserving and then draw a bone.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. And then at the end, he, let's see, made contributions. Oh, there's books and films about his life. And then there's like buildings named after him, coins, ships, monuments. So we only have one line left. So we'll have to just kind of, you pick what you think is important or what most.
Let's see. Captain Cook. Famous.
Yeah, I forgot you have to leave right now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple
How
minutes.
about you work on number 6 by yourself, all right? I don't want you to be late. I just looked at the time. So, yeah, decide what part of that you want to include. I would include something maybe about buildings named after him or films and books that were written about him, something like that. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Good job, Christian. I will see you on Friday, actually, with your mom.
That's tomorrow, right?
That is tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? That is tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
All
See
right.
you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye, Christian.